Conversations with Marc and Debbie, the mediums. Marc Stuart, the Scottish medium. Debbie Wolf, the smallest medium. Conversations on topical subjects. On subjects other mediums would not dare talk about, but we do. The Marc Stuart Medium Network, demonstrating, discussing, and training in Scottish-style mediumship.
Well, hello. Here we are again, prattling on about AI.
It must be Wednesday.
Yeah. But before we do that, we've got the news to give you.
Right? News and information, just like it says.
I hope you're all sitting down. Please relax. This is very exciting. This is world-shattering news. Scotland has made an executive decision at the highest governmental level that next year we are invading America. This is going to be a full military invasion. Tens of thousands, and I mean tens of thousands of hairy Scotsmen in kilts, standing singing the national anthem, "O Flower of Scotland." You only heard it here. And it may be hundreds of thousands, because we do get very excited about what's going to happen next year. It's the World Cup football. That's soccer in America, but we call it World Cup. We just qualified. We hammered the Denmark team 4-2. That's a very good score in football.
It's a great score.
So that means we're coming. We may not get past the first round, but the fans will be there. So start thinking about survival. Lock your daughters up, lock your sons up, hide in the basement. Do not engage. And don't put your kilts on. If you're a man, an American man, seriously, do not put a kilt on to welcome the Scottish men in kilts, because they will laugh you from here to kingdom come. If they see you in a girl's kilt, you're finished.
So just make sure your kilt comes below your knees.
Yeah, just basically drop the hem below the knees. Get your wife to work on it, or do it yourself. I mean, you are wearing a kilt.
Excuse me, get your wife to work on it. Do it your damn self.
Excuse me, I was about to say, since you're wearing a lady's kilt, you can do it yourself. Now, basically, the gist of all of that is Scotland football team has qualified for the World Cup, which is being split between Canada, what are the other two countries?
America and Mexico.
Some other strange country called the United States of America. Yeah. So basically, there's going to be a lot of Scotsmen. Don't know where, don't know what cities.
We don't know what cities they're playing in yet, because it's all over the country. So we don't know where exactly they're going to be.
So you mean you're going to have? So you mean you're going to have about 100? Well, between 50 and 100,000, because the stadiums can only hold so many people. So between 50 and 100,000 people crossing from city to city, maybe even from country to country. Oh, I can just see this.
Possibly, yes.
I can just see this going disastrously now.
Oh yeah, I'm a little worried about it myself.
She's worried. She's coming to Scotland. She's going to be timing her visit to Scotland when all Scotland's going to America. Exactly. Anyway, enough about that. Other news-wise, that's pretty much about it, really. Not really too much to report on.
No, let's see what else happened. No, nothing much. I'm going on a retreat this weekend. Yay.
So that means Cards with Marc without Debbie.
Yeah, I'm not going to be there to host, so you're all on your own.
Yeah, it's Cards with Marc this Sunday. So if you want to get a card reading, if you want to see how to do it with 3 cameras and blow the competition away, assuming you do card readings, that is, then come along on Sunday. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, that's about that at the minute. So, unless, Debbie, you've got any other news to give us?
I can't think of anything.
Okay, so back to our main topic. Now, you've probably said, oh God, he's going to talk about AI and business again. No, we're going to talk about the bad side of AI and technology tonight. So let's start by showing you a video. Let's just see if you can work out what the topic of tonight is mainly going to be about.
Dead is the night, the moon it glows brighter, the wind is unburned,
So did anybody work it out? Basically,
It's about
mediumship
dead people. Yeah.
call centers. You know, a row of mediums all sitting in a call center, answering the phone, giving you readings. Now, it doesn't work.
They're mostly psychics that do that, but yeah,
Yeah, it
exactly.
doesn't
They
work
have
that way.
psychic clients.
They all work at home. I mean, I
Yeah.
used to work for a call center for a living. I used to work from home. So you've got a headset on your head, and the calls get redirected. Now that's been around for a long time. I mean, that is technology, and the
Oh
technology for
yeah.
the phone center. I mean, I worked for about. It's been about 4 years since I resigned, and in the 12 years that I worked there, I saw the technology go like that, to the point that I've actually got more powerful technology in our business. If I want to start phoning our prospects, I can use my technology to phone the way that my employer used to do a decade ago. But that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is when you, as the prospective sitter, go to one of these companies and type in, it'll ask you, what kind of reading do you want? So, do you want advice about your career, your marriage, your business, your pets? Do you want a prediction for the future? Now, all of that is a load of absolute baloney. Even a psychic, even the best psychic in the universe, couldn't give you any information about any of those subjects.
No.
And if they did,
The only thing that does that is tarot readings
no, it doesn't.
or bone readings. Yeah, it'll do
It
divination.
doesn't.
Yeah.
Divination is a reading, but it's still basically either spiritual or psychic. It's just a different way of getting the reading. Spirit might throw the bones in a particular way. I mean, okay, let's clarify that.
Well, I work with my ancestors when I throw my bones.
Yeah, but
So yeah.
let me clarify what I mean by can't and what's happening.
Okay.
If I mean, I'm a mental medium, and if I connect to spirit, I sometimes predict the future. But I'm not predicting something random in the future. I'm only explaining a set of circumstances that are already in motion with an obvious outcome. So, for example, if you're in a car and your foot's on the accelerator and you're getting faster and faster and you're heading towards a brick wall, you're going to reach a point where it doesn't matter how hard you put your foot on the brake, you're still going to crash into the wall.
Right.
So spirit can see a lot more than Debbie or I can see. If they can see people around you doing certain things, you making certain mistakes, doing certain things, they can see motion and event. So they can say, if you don't do, I mean, here's one that I gave about 2 years ago. Saw a woman who was driving her car 90 degrees. I mean, literally, she was going around 90-degree corners at 30 to 40 miles an hour. Literally like that. Now, spirit put an image in my head of her going around a corner and crashing into 2 children. And it was bloody brutal. Now, I did not give her that reading. It wasn't predicting the future. What it was a warning that I was to give to her. So I gave her the reading and I said, you drive your car. Yes, you drive your car too fast around corners. She went a wee bit white. And I said, what I mean by you drive your corners too fast around corners is you're going around 90-degree bends at full speed. Can you accept that? Yes. Well, here's a message from, can't remember who the spirit was. And he's basically saying, if you don't slow down going around the corners, there's going to be a crash and somebody's going to get hurt. And I just left it at that. Now, that's not predicting the future. That's just saying, I mean, if you're in a car with somebody, and Debbie's been in a car with me. And
it's scary sometimes. It's scary sometimes.
There's one thing that terrifies her, because when she comes here to Scotland, we don't have stop at every junction. We have give way. Whereas in America, you have stop. So I've spent my entire life.
Well, there are both here. They're just different. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, they're the same here. We've got both depending on the road. But in America, it tends to be stop everywhere. It's a crossroads. You can see in every direction. There's not a car for half a mile.
You still need to stop. Yeah.
Whereas in Scotland, we would put a give way sign at that road. So I'm just assuming, as an experienced driver, that I'm slowing down. I'm at 5-10 miles an hour.
And I'm yelling, stop!
And Debbie's going, stop! And I'm continuing on safely driving. Now, if Debbie said to me, Mark, if Debbie gave me a reading, Mark, if you drive like that, you're going to be stopped by a policeman and you're going to get a fine. That's not a prediction of the future. It's just a probable outcome.
A
So
probable, yes.
is that a prediction of the future? Yeah, you could argue that it is. It's not saying, now, if somebody comes, if Debbie then said, Mark, on the 24th of November at 6:50 p.m., you're going to crash your car. I know for a fact I'm not going to crash my car because I'm not going to be in my car.
In your car at that time. Exactly. Yeah.
So if I'm not going to be in the car at that time, how am I going to crash the car? Okay, Spirit could pick my car up and they could throw it through. I mean, I'm effectively 50 feet above the ground in the car. So they'd have to, it'd have to be Yoda,
There'd have to be a ramp, somebody driving up a ramp to get into the house. Yeah. Actually, not too long ago near here, there was a car up on the roof of a house. So it's possible.
Yeah. So getting back to the subject of call centers. If you are made unemployed and if you are looking for work, there are lots of companies, and I mean dozens and dozens of companies now that are highly organized, and they have 3 different companies have approached me over the last year to try and recruit me. And I've turned every single one of them down because I go and have a look at the company and it's exactly as I've just described. That said, I have trained 3 mediums who have earned a living working for companies like that. Now, they do spiritual media, they do spiritual readings, and they say to the company, this is the kind of reading I'm going to do, and they get employed. So there is work out there if you want to do it. I just personally don't want to associate myself with that down market site. But that's me personally speaking. That doesn't mean to say
that brings up the whole ego thing. So yeah.
Yeah, but that's what we're dealing with later. That's
we'll talk about that later.
So is that a bad use or a good use of technology? I would say it's a bad use because it's promoting types of mediumship that as professional spiritual mediums, we don't want to be associated with. And I spend half my time condemning verbally on broadcasts like this, but then again, that's just me.
Yeah.
You can be Debbie doing an African drum beat, contacting the other side and predicting the future, that it's going to rain tomorrow at 2 minutes past 4 a.m. And
no, it's supposed to rain tomorrow at 7 a.m. actually.
So that's Debbie admitting that she's using technology to get some information that she's then putting into her reading.
Yeah, which is so unethical. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So there's the second use of that we're moving into. The first one wasn't unethical. The first one was just bad practice. Let me show you another video to introduce some of the areas that we're going to talk about. This one actually is quite funny. Now, what was that about? I saw an advert last week for a man who I doubt was real, who was going to, you send him your email, you send him your $10, and it was only $10. No, it wasn't a mega, I'm sure this was just the intro offer.
Mm-hmm.
And he will draw your life, your soulmate who's
your
out
soulmate.
There. So
I saw that in my feed this morning and I went, it's almost worth the $10 to see what comes back. I don't know. I was
tempted. I must admit, I was sorely tempted. But if my wife, who is my soulmate, discovered that I had done it and the picture didn't come back, what I wanted to do actually was see if I got a drawing of my beautiful wife back. And if it wasn't, then I would go back to them and say, look, I'm a spiritual medium. I know I'm with my soulmate because my guides told me and her guide have told her.
Right.
Here's all the serendipity when we met to prove it. Here's all the things we've done together. I want my money back and I want damages because there's some poor woman out there who thinks that I'm her soulmate, who you've given a picture of me to.
That's very funny. I wonder what they would do since my soulmate has already passed over.
Yeah. But the point is, I mean, you see those 2 videos that I showed, I literally generated them this evening. Okay, the first one had videos that I'd connected in, but the first bit of it was connected in 10 10 to 20 seconds, a little bit of another 30 seconds of editing, and basically I put those two videos together in probably a total of about 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Now, if I go onto any number of AI sites and say, I want a picture of a companion for my friend Devi, who's bald, wears big glasses, is a psychic and spiritual medium, and I know enough about her to put in
Right.
it'll come back with a convincing male drop. Might not even be male. Maybe Devi's going to tell me some secret openly here on stream, but no. Okay, so let's just assume that I get a picture of a man back for her.
It's not a secret. It's not a secret, Mark.
who looks like a Highland coo.
That's possible. I was thinking it was my cat, actually. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, so there's the first unethical use of AI in a psychic spiritual marketplace. I saw another one. This was a wee bit further back. This will be about 3 months ago, and I'm not going to mention any names, but this is a bona fide medium, supposedly, who is doing a workshop training course to teach people how to work with the energy in wires. You know, spirit is now traveling around the internet.
Like electric wires.
Yes.
Electric wires.
You know,
right.
like internet cables, etc., and how you're going to connect psychically or spiritually with the spirit in the computer.
Through the wires. Oh, yeah, sure. Go ahead. Why don't you just put your finger in a socket? That'll connect you with the electricity.
Debbie, are you volunteering to give us a demonstration?
Nope.
Oh, go on. Show us some real spark night tonight in the personality.
My fingernail would probably fit in there, but I don't think that would hurt me, so that's okay.
Yeah. I mean, let's just take apart for a few seconds what this woman was saying. She's basically saying that spirit has evolved as spirit has been known to evolve. Now, I always laugh at this when mediums in churches and elder mediums talk about spirit evolving through the years. What they're talking about is going back to the days when mediums used to use technology on stage. Now, by technology, what I'm talking about is paper mache stuffed in their mouth, spewed out on the stage. Look, it's ectoplasm. So that's the old idea of using technology. So basically, spirit evolved into mental mediumship. No, spirit was always mental mediumship, and it was the mediums themselves that went out and did stupid crap.
Silly stuff to make it look better.
Yeah, because they wanted to be up on stage and they had to be dramatic. It was like, I mean, we covered this for 3 months, but when mediumship started, it was predominantly young women that were on stage as mediums. Why? Because it was an easy way for a woman to earn a living in a world that was dominated by men, and they didn't have access to all the professions that everybody should have had access to. Nothing. I'm not criticizing the women that were mediums. That's just going back in time and showing that
one of the few things that they could do. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the few things they could do, and time has changed and mediumship has moved on.
Right.
So this woman's basically saying, so we started with physical and then we became mental. Now we're becoming electrical. And she actually is teaching a course that spirit has moved into the internet, and she's going to teach you as a medium how to communicate with the spirit in your computer screen and have a two-way communication. So, I mean, in the same methodology of Devi volunteering to stick her finger in the plug, I am volunteering to go on Zoom, and I will transfer myself around the internet, and you can all come and speak to me electronically, and I'll...
Right. And it'll go directly into your brain, right?
Yeah. It's all a load of absolute, utter crap. But this woman is finding, and I'm going to use the word here, suckers willing to pay her money for that course.
Wow. What's she charging?
I can't remember. It was something like I mean, it wasn't mega expensive. It was about $100.
Okay, yeah.
Now, just as a comparison, for $75, you could join our reading level on Patreon, which will give you access to 3 events online a month and 1 private reading from a group of mediums, and you can choose a different medium every month.
Yeah.
So $75 per month gets you effectively a reading every week, versus $100 that teaches you to stick your head to the camera like this and get a reading.
And stick your finger in the socket.
Yeah. Okay, the last use of technology. And I have actually seen this. Apps on things like ChatGPT and other platforms where you can get a reading.
Oh yeah,
You know,
yeah, I've seen them. I've seen apps that do tarot readings. I've seen apps. I've never seen one that did mediumship, but I've seen them that do tarot readings, that do oracle readings, that do astrology.
yeah. So that's all going out there in the big bad world. So that's the bad news. So what's the good news? What should you do as either a practicing medium or somebody that wants to come with us? Come with us and we'll train you how to be a medium. Very, very simple. Be yourself. Be a mental medium. Tell the truth. I connect with spirits on the other side and I prove life after death. I do not connect electronically. I do not predict the future. I don't work in a call center with 1,000 other would-be mediums that don't have a foggy notion what they're doing, that just stick their finger. I mean, think about it. One of these ladies or men on the call center, I want some advice about my job. Oh, yes. What do you work as? I work in a call center. Oh, well, AI is going to replace you, so you're going to have to become a medium. Have you thought of? I mean, I'm being sarcastic, but that's the level of readings. I mean, I wouldn't do
Yeah,
that as
is it really? Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, so just whether you come with us or whether you do it yourself, just be a traditional mental mediumship, because the more AI, I suppose the bad news is actually good news, because it's like, I mean, for example, when I go to an American psychic fair and I walk around 100 tables, maybe not 100, say 40 to 50 tables of ladies with turbans on and cards in front of them, I sit down, somebody walks up to me, where are your cards? I don't need cards. Despite the fact I'm doing cards on Sunday, on Monday,
Right.
cards
He
on Marc on Sunday.
plays with them, but he doesn't need them. Well, of course, I don't need them either,
Yeah.
but I play with them.
I'm a spiritual medium. Oh, you can't do it without card yet. Sit down, pay me, get a reading. By the time I've finished with that one person, I've got a queue of 5 to 10 people waiting to get readings. Whereas the other tables are all getting up, and I've got to, and basically going around the people, trying to talk to them, to persuade them to come to them at their table. So just be yourself. Be a spiritual medium. Get rid of all the, I'm not saying don't decorate the table. I mean, obviously do that, but just be true to what you are, a spiritual medium. And if you're not a spiritual medium, come to us and we'll train you.
We will train you to be a spiritual medium.
Correct. Okay, so let's talk about how we use technology. We started doing this about 6 months ago. We are now fully set up on Patreon. We have got our production content to the point that something gets posted on Patreon every day. So that's 7 days a week. Now it's different content. This will be being posted tomorrow. We'll be doing a lecture that you have to be at the paid level for on Sunday. Saturday, there will be a post, but that will be linking into the Telegram group where myself and my wife are walking around historical bits of Scotland. It was Stirling Castle last week.
And it was beautiful.
I mean, it's live. So basically, the idea is that my wife and I walk around, take some pictures of what we're looking at, where we are, put it straight into the Telegram group. You can ask a question. You can. So we had, for example, one person who said, my husband's ancestors come from Loch Lomond. Oh, yeah. Right, fine. So I walked over to the castle window, pointed at the hills between where I was and Loch Lomond, click, and put the picture up for her and said, you know, drive or walk over those hills. It's you couldn't go over the hills because you'd have to go up a mountainside and down the other side. But,
Well, you know, as long as you bring your climbing equipment, you'll be fine.
but the basic gist was your husband's ancestors lived on the other side of those mountain hill range, let's call
Hills.
it. Or we actually in Scotland we call them Munros, which is a hill that's up to a certain height but isn't high enough to be classified as a mountain.
There's a mountain.
So
Okay.
we've got. I can't
We don't have
remember.
names for those here, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
We call
there's
them
something like
hills.
yeah, we call them Munros, but then again, we've got a unique language for everything in Scotland.
Of course.
Anyway, back to what I was talking about. So it's interactive. You know, we're showing you pictures, and then people make comments, and we can show pictures relevant to that, answer questions, etc. So if you want to take part on that, you have to join the Telegram group. We do post, as I said, we'll post some of the pictures into Patreon with a link back to Telegram, but you'll have to go to Telegram to watch most of it. What else are we doing? We've got YouTube videos that go in on other days. We've got blog posts that go in, again, linked back into the blogs. So basically, there's something happening there every day. So we'll put the link in the description with this. Make sure you join Patreon. All our training, and I stress, all our training is done through Patreon as well. We've switched from doing dedicated training courses to monthly subscriptions, so you can go up and you can come down depending on the level of training you feel you want. Starts at $75, then goes to $125, then $300, then $600. Now, there's a huge difference between $600 and $75. We stress that you should always start at $75 and work your way up. Because we've got about 1,000 people in the database, as you move up, you get access to that database for people looking for readings. So
Right.
At the 300 to 600 level, you have to be at that level before you get access to do readings to our little marketplace. But by the time you get to there, you should very easily be able to do enough readings to cover the training cost. Okay, so that's the sales blurb over. Can't really think of anything else.
I think that's about it.
I'm exhausted.
That's because you can't stop talking, okay?
And I've got a lecture to do in 10 minutes.
Yes, we've got another one. You've got another one.
Okay, folks, it's been a pleasure. We'll be back next week. I might get my Galaxy background going up. Apologies for that. Just there's been so much going on. A lot of it is actually to do with spiritual events, but I'm not ready to go public on that yet. But that will also have a big impact on Patreon. But
Yes,
that won't be till next year. But that's actually getting me quite excited.
it's a good thing. It's a good thing. But we'll
It's
keep
a
you in
really good
suspense.
Keep you in suspense, but there's going to be a lot more Scottish mediums and a lot more events coming from this in our Patreon channel. So if you like Scotland in any way, just remember, arrange a holiday in Scotland when the Scots are going to you. But seriously, if you really want a real tearjerker experience, buy a ticket for a Scottish football match and sit through the Flower of Scotland presentation they do at the beginning, complete with bagpipes. The Scots in the audience will be standing up and they will be singing along with the team and the bagpipes. And we do this every international football match. You were warned.
Oh, well, I wish I could afford a ticket to that. That would be worth the price of the ticket alone. So, yeah.
Okay, folks, it's been a pleasure.
Bye.
Good night and goodbye, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week.